Welcome to the Back to Soul podcast. Here we will connect with our soul and discuss what the journey home looks like. Inspired by my own true spiritual awakening, I'm your host, Danyell, better known as Coach Danyell. I'm a life coach specializing in wellness and finance. I've searched, I've Googled, but I couldn't find the answers I was looking for on this journey. So hopefully listening to this podcast will help you come home, back to soul. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for weekly episodes. Welcome. This is episode 4 of the Back to Soul podcast. Welcome back. We are 4 episodes in. If you've migrated from the Find Your Positivity podcast, thank you. This podcast is a little more laid back, and we just dive a little deeper into spirituality, and sometimes we talk a little bit about popular news. Thank you for joining. As you listen to the Back to Soul podcast, don't forget I am a life coach, and I'm here to help you succeed and excel in your everyday life. I've been in those tough situations, those situations where you need someone to talk to, you need a friend to console you. I can be that person for you. I can help to motivate you, empower you, and help you to hold accountability. You are not alone, and help is here. Whether you're needing advice on budgeting, time management, accountability, staying inspired, or just someone to talk to, I'm here. Use code POSITIVITY to save 50% on your intro coaching session. My promise, if I'm not a great fit as your coach, then the session is free. Book today at CoachDanyell.com. From the title, you can tell we'll be discussing the twin flame journey. We're talking about the separation and the union. This will be based on my experience and what I've found throughout my spiritual journey as someone who is on this twin flame journey as well. I can only speak from my perspective, and that perspective is one from the divine feminine. So this may not resonate with those who are on the divine masculine journey. It'll be different. For the record, it would take more than one episode to get into the twin flame journey. It can differ between all of us. And plus, there's so many different nuances and details and other spiritual things you experience within that journey. It could never be put into one episode. So this episode will just be a brief overview of my experience and what I've been through. So if any of you have been on TikTok lately, I'm sure you found yourself falling victim to the algorithm of tarot readers telling you that your twin flame is coming back, they're separating, they're thinking of you, they're obsessing over you, all of these repetitive messages. And the thing is, we're not all on a twin flame journey. You don't always end up together with your twin flame. You may end up with a kindred soul, a soulmate, or maybe worse, a karmic. So let's get into some definitions. These are my overall interpretations of each term. So you have a twin flame. In my opinion, the twin flame is the other half of your soul. So I mentioned that I'm on a divine feminine path. So my twin flame is the divine masculine, the other half of me. On the other hand, you have soulmates. You can have multiple soulmates. Soulmates can be friends, they can be family members, they can be your kids. To me, soulmates are your soul tribe. And then last is a kindred soul. So kindred souls are people that are pretty much the same. You have the same beliefs, you have the same upbringings, you probably think the same. Compared to a twin flame who is the complete opposite, a kindred soul is going to be easy. I would think of a kindred soul as a high school sweetheart or college sweetheart. So many similarities would be there. Again, twin flames, from what I've experienced, can be your complete opposite. And what may be the same is the trauma you've experienced, but your upbringings will be the opposite. You may be opposite when it comes to beliefs. You may be opposite in how you think, but this person will be a compliment to you, but will also be very triggering. Last but not least, you have a karmic. A karmic is not someone you're meant to end up with. A karmic is meant to teach you a lesson so you can move on. Now, sometimes you do end up with karmics because you don't recognize that it was a lesson to be learned and it was meant to move on. But you may encounter several karmics throughout your life until you're meant to find your kindred soul or meet your twin flame. Here on the Back to Soul podcast, we will speak often about books and how they can help us to navigate this journey back home, back to our soul. I've partnered with Audible, who has thousands of titles to choose from, including audiobooks, podcasts, and groundbreaking originals, and just so much more. Plus, the Audible app makes things so much easier to listen to anytime and anywhere. So to continue your journey back home, back to your soul, go ahead and download the Audible app. Also, let me mention, new members try Audible free for 30 days. Again, that's audibletrial.com/Coach Danyell, CoachDanyell. When I first began this spiritual journey, I knew nothing of twin flames, kindred souls, karmics, until I started going through my awakening. Afterwards, I was bombarded with information about a divine counterpart and having a husband and possibly a child and getting married. It was all of these things, and I didn't quite understand it. The only thing I knew was that God wanted to present this person to me. And when I was going through my journey, I didn't really know who that person was. It took months for them to be revealed to me. But when I did finally come into contact with them and understand who it was, my entire mindset shifted. I was also shown a glimpse of a possibility of what could be, of what our life could be. And I had to accept this journey without knowing if this person would commit to me. I fully trusted and just surrendered to the process. I was scared. I can fully remember in detail saying out loud, God, I trust you and I'm accepting this journey. I don't know where it's going to lead, but if this is my person, then I accept. And for me, in my experience, it was me going kind of blindly into this journey and just fully surrendering to the process, being shown this idea of this possibility that I could be in this amazing relationship with someone who was my perfect counterpart to help me grow, to help me learn, while at the same time treating me with such respect. And it was a love that I would be deserving of. Then I wanted nothing more. And especially because if any of you listening have went through a spiritual awakening, it's a very lonely process. It's not a process that is, in my opinion, it's not a group process because it's a solo journey. You are healing trauma. You are healing old beliefs that are not serving you. You are healing conditions that you've learned and you're being broken down. So for me, at that time, to be shown those visions, I was reluctant, but I accepted. It was a couple of weeks later, my person was presented in the physical sense, and I was devastated. That's me being brutally honest, because the person, I knew of them, and it was not the person that I expected. I was heartbroken. It was not the person that I would ever envision for myself. And the person I knew them to be I didn't see how they could compliment me in any way. And I knew at that time, like, I was just going through my spiritual awakening, and I had been around this person previously. It was not someone that I would look at twice, because it wouldn't be, again, it just wouldn't be the person I would be attracted to. It wouldn't be a person I would pursue or want to pursue me. There wasn't any sort of attraction there. The only thing I can remember pre-awakening is that this person had a weird vibe. The energy was kind of weird, but I never thought anything of it because I never looked at them twice. There was nothing about them that drew me in. I also just want to say, this person is attractive. This person is doing very well for themselves. They are a catch, in my opinion. It was just not someone that I was attracted to. It is not someone that I would pursue or that I would think would ever pursue me. And again, this is just me being very honest. And like I said, he is attractive and he is successful and all of these amazing things. He just wasn't my type. And now that I can actually voice this and make it make sense, he may have looked at me the same and just thought, hey, that can never work. She's not my type. And at that time, I can confirm it's just mutual. And it's so interesting being on this twin flame journey, and the person that is actually the perfect complement to you is your opposite. It is someone you would never look at. It is someone that is the complete opposite of you. Earlier in the podcast, I mentioned how twin flames will be complete opposites. So in regards to my person, they are the complete opposite of me. How they were raised, their upbringing, their beliefs. They are also much older than me. Well, not much older, but they are older than me. The life they have lived is much different from mine. And the only commonality that I've seen that we may have is the trauma that we've experienced. That is the only leveling field, is the trauma. And if his trauma is similar to my trauma, and it may not be the exact same people or emotions, but there is a commonality there, and there is healing that must take place. Other than that, there's nothing that I've seen that is the same. Everything is the complete opposite. Which I'll say again, had God not revealed this to be my person, I would never have assumed, I would never have thought anything of it. I just would have thought this is a person with very weird energy and I don't want to associate with it. So if I fast forward a little bit, so I went through a period where I was trying to become accustomed to this being my person. It sounds weird to say that, but I trusted God and I had surrendered to the process. And in my mind, if God can see that this is the person for me, then I'm going to try my hardest to make it work. And after about a month or two, I finally was like, okay, let me open up to the idea. The next day I bumped into this person and we locked eyes, and it just seemed like the world stopped. I felt an energetic connection that I've never felt with anyone or anything. It was so powerful. It was just looking in their eyes, I could feel a strong energetic pull, and it made me want to go to them. And it took everything in me just to sit in my chair and not run to them. So that's when I knew that it was something there. fast forward again a couple of weeks, and it's at a point where this person isn't really trying to connect more, and I'm just praying about it. Again, I feel like God revealed this person to me, so I'm trusting the process. And after those few weeks, I realized this isn't moving forward. And so what was revealed was that that person did not want to pursue that connection between us. And ultimately, it felt like God had presented me with my person, but they didn't choose me. They chose someone else. So I had to go through all of those emotions, and that was the start of the separation. So we've been in separation ever since. And at first, it took me a long time to come to terms with why. Because in my mind, if God is showing me that this is my person, I would choose to go to my person. And what you come to realize is that there's a reason for everything. There's a reason for everything. So this is part of the lesson that I needed to learn. Instead of giving myself freely and not continuing the process of working on myself and healing, I was about to stop everything I had worked on with my spiritual awakening and start this new twin flame union connection and forget about my purpose. The entire reason behind a twin flame connection is because you're meant to serve your purpose. And that has changed the game for me when I realized that the union is not about coming into union with my actual twin flame, but it's about coming into union with myself and coming home to God. I have to choose myself. So just like my person chose themselves and they felt like they weren't ready for what was about to happen, I have to choose myself as well. Once we reach a place of healing, then possibly there will be closure. But until then, I've learned to be perfectly happy focusing on healing and focusing on strengthening my connection to God, because I am fully serving my purpose. Now, if I listen to the tarot readers on TikTok, then me and my person are coming into union in 2 days or a week or 2 weeks. And it just doesn't happen that way. Everything is energy. So when it comes to these twin flame connections, your person has to choose you. You have to choose your person. But you also have to be at a certain point in your healing process. Because God is not going to allow you to come into union and you're still broken. And you still wouldn't be able to put your purpose first. You wouldn't be able to put yourself first. Because that's what the true union is about. You're coming to a place of healing, and it's a beautiful place. But it takes work. It's not easy. Now, at this stage in my spiritual awakening, my gifts are expanding. Things are happening. I'm, again, fully in my purpose and just trying to connect with God. And more things are being revealed to me. And what I've come to realize is that, or assume, is that my person is not going to choose me anytime soon. Does that mean that the energetic connection is not there? No. Does that mean that unconditional love is not there? No. But it does mean that there's more healing that needs to take place. Whether that's from the masculine side or the feminine side, there's still healing to go. I know there's still that push and pull of that energetic connection between us. But if I'm focusing on my spiritual path, I think it should also inspire my masculine to focus on theirs as well. But it's still a choice. I don't know if he's choosing to focus on his purpose and accept his ascension. And I'm not supposed to worry about that. I'm not meant to know what this person is doing 24/7. I'm not meant to know if he is entertaining other women, if he is doing things that would not be helpful to this journey, because that shouldn't be my focus. So at this stage in my journey, I realized that. So again, the tarot readers on TikTok, they will tell you this is what your person is thinking, this is what they're doing. And when you hear all of those things, it clouds your mind and it refocuses you on what's not important. Because if you're busy focused on your purpose and you're busy focusing on your relationship with God, you're not worried about this person entertaining karmics or this person entertaining addictions. Again, I can only tell my journey from a divine feminine perspective, so I don't know 100% how the masculine is taking this, what their path is like. But I'm stepping into my power, and it is a receptive power. It is a power of softening, and it feels good, and I feel good, and I feel powerful. Also, at this particular stage, I've accepted that I may not end up with my twin flame, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to end up in a beautiful union with a beautiful soul, and that soul is going to be a great counterpart for me. If anything, I think I will receive closure from my twin flame, which that's all I need. I don't need to come into complete union with them. I know they're not ready. And I know that this journey is hard. It's very hard. It is spiritually and sometimes physically very hard and all-consuming. I'm officially at a place where I'm not consumed by the connection daily, which feels good. It feels good to quiet down the connection, and it almost feels muted. I can truly focus on my growth and just making new connections, and I'm in a great place. Again, so this has just been an overview of my experience with my twin flame. I was very hesitant to put out this episode because there's two sides to this journey, and I would never want to tell someone else's story. So I really just wanted to focus on the divine feminine aspect and just how this path has worked out for me. It has taken a long time. And I say a long time, but I know that everyone's journey is different. So for me, I think this has lasted, we're at a year. And I know I've heard stories of other twin flame journeys lasting longer. But for me personally, I'm good with this year. I'm good with receiving closure and moving on with my life. As long as I know that I am fulfilling my purpose and I am working on my relationship with God, being consistent with that, I'm okay. And it feels good. We've reached the end of the episode, so I didn't even get to touch on the synchronicities, all of the names, the songs, all of these other things, these signs that you see when you're on this twin flame journey. So if that is something that you guys would like to hear, please let me know. You can email me, you can comment. Be sure to check out the YouTube for more content. Check out the Instagram and the TikTok. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to be notified for weekly episodes. Also, this doesn't have to be goodbye. Check out the Find Your Positivity podcast. It's available on all platforms. Daily episodes are posted for your affirmations and your intention settings of the day. See you soon.